Good morning and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink, Coffee edition. It is literally morning. It is my first coffee. So I may be over enthusiastic about it because you know what addicts say, I just gotta get well. Okay, so my last video was Kokako's Ethiopia Sidama. This video is Kokako's Congo, Lake Kivu, okay? So the reason why I'm going back to this is because those were the first two beans that I actually purchased, single origin beans that I've purchased ever since I got my AeroPress unit. So I wanted to go back after I've had a few others, and then I wanted to go back and take you through it. So anyway, look, this is African Congo Lake Kivu. They've given it to me pre-ground. This is, the cooperative is SOPACDI. Processing is washed. Okay, it is a light to medium, supposedly light to medium, that's fine. Certification is fair trade, bio-grow, organic, and climate neutral. So look, I mean, I don't even know how coffee can be non-climate neutral. I mean, it's a plant, you grow it, it absorbs CO2 and then it produces fucking little, you know, Jesus berries. So I don't understand why how can it be all of that certification? But I guess different roasteries have different marketing things. When I say marketing, you may look at it cynically or practically, but they all have to have certain marketing traits. Like these guys are organic, they're all about fair trade, that's great. I don't really mind. I mean, obviously, fair trade is nice, but Conflict Diamonds, I'll buy it if it's the right price. Conflict Coffee, if it's delicious, I'll get them Dangerous Grounds. So I don't really care. No, but all jest aside, of course you want to be responsible when you're buying, but I don't even look at that really. Most of these micro plots, you know, locals own them and they produce them. So I don't know. I don't know if they're fair trade or not. But anyway, as I said before, they gave it to me pre-ground. This is less than 3 days old. This is less than 3 days old ground. I wanted to film it right now before, you know, because, you know, usually I grind it fresh. So let's get nosing. Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting. It says apricot, raisin, black tea. I don't get the apricot, I get the raisin. It is it says light to medium, but it smells very strong. Now, I don't know if that's from the roasting, but I'm getting rich cacao, more cocoa powder, like a dark cocoa powder. I'm getting chocolates. I am getting that syrupy fruit, a burnt fruit. I'm getting a burnt maple syrup, burnt butter. Hazelnut. It's quite nutty. There's a sour note to it that's really pleasant. I can see why they think the apricot, but cut my finger on it. I'd actually say maybe a demerara sugar and a salted caramel. There's a salinity to the nose. I don't know why, but there's a salinity to the nose. There's also a hint of almond in there, like almond essence or marzipan. Terracotta. There's a smell of wet terracotta. And glaced cherries, maraschino cherries. You know those shit that you use for cocktails, those cherries? It's got some of that. Wow, what a nose, what a nose. Very complex on the nose, very attractive on the nose, fantastic. I don't know if those are terms that coffee people use, but I'm going to use them anyway. Let's nose the brew. Once again, 1:16 ratio. AeroPress. I'm getting that marzipan come through. I get the raisin. I still don't get the apricot. The black tea, very much so, but that's from the dark tannins. The earthiness of that black tea with a slight fragrance. This reminds me of Asia. Ironic because this is African. On the nose of the brew, it is quite a soft nose. Quite gentle. And that cherry is coming through. It is definitely that maraschino cherry. You know that there. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You know the thing. Cedar chips. Slight earthiness. Caramelized maple syrup definitely has a tad of burnt butter and definitely a salinity on the nose. I can't explain that, where it's coming from obviously, but it's a slight salinity on the nose. So if someone can tell me why I'm smelling a salinity on the nose, I would love to know why. I mean, I presume Lake Kivu ain't salt water, but just let me know. But obviously soil properties can impart a salinity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's literally by salt, you know what I'm saying? Delicious. Let's sip. Wow. What a disconnect from the ground to the nose to the palate. Bean to mouth. What a disconnect of the smell. Quite a sour forward coffee. The burnt butter doesn't quite translate on the palate so much. Fruity. I get the apricot now, but an unripe apricot, slightly sour. Unripe plum, actually, is what I'm getting as well. A smoky leather. You know when you're wearing a leather jacket, you've been smoking cigars, and then you try to air out your jacket, which is a futile fucking attempt to try and get that smell out, but you try anyway, you put it outside, you air it out, and it comes in, so you still have a hint of cigars on that jacket. That's what it takes me back. Wow, very fruit forward, citrus, lime. I'm getting lime on the palate and the forward note. But not super oily, not a heavy palate at all. Quite a gentle palate, actually. Quite a gentle palate. The nose is such a disconnect to the palate, which is strange. Usually they can be have a lot in common, but wow, what an interesting coffee. I would highly recommend that coffee. I'm just putting the cap on so it doesn't cool down. I would highly recommend this coffee. If you're around New Zealand way, I would go to Kokako Cafe and I would buy their bean, the Congo Lake Kivu. Fantastic. Like I said, I was hooked from the beginning. These were my first dealers, and then after that, I just went down the rabbit hole. It was a gateway coffee for me. So thank you very much, Kokako, for ruining my coffee life. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually really, it's really good to have started with something like this. It was a recommendation from a friend who's also balls deep in coffee. But anyway, until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. I will link Kokako below, and you can check out their website. This is not in any shape or form paid by anybody. I don't get paid by anyone to review things. And like I said, I don't review coffee as bad or good right now. I probably won't for the foreseeable future because I'm trying so many different coffees, and each single origin release is so different. I more want you to join me in this in this journey. And look, no doubt there will be a coffee that I have that I won't like, and I will tell you if I don't like it or not. But I really like this. Now I now remember why I got so hooked. Now, off camera, I'm going to get well. Thank you very much. Have a good day.